think it has worked to the advantage of most IT firms in the world. Yes, I think COVID is really an advantage for people out there to innovate, bring out ideas that can sort of like be solutions to people, because people want solutions in whatever situation they're in.
That is correct. Well, Plight Chapusha is the CEO of My Ride, and he's got quite an interesting story that he will be sharing with us on Tuvwange Lifestyle today. We can perhaps start with childhood and how you started, because we've seen the rides, right? With My Ride. When you hear Plight, you think My Ride. So let's take it back to when you started.
Yeah, so I started off with different things from My Ride itself. Yeah, I think when I just left high school, I'd already learned how to program. Yeah, so what I did is that in the time I was waiting for my results, I decided to come up with a system. It was basically a school account system. And the first school I did it for was Naboya High School in Kafiri. That's how I started the business, because I did that system and they got it, and the next 1 week, 22 schools got it.
So, usually when someone's about to venture into entrepreneurship, there's usually a loophole that they will notice in the society. How did you come up with that concept? What prompted you to say, okay, no, this is missing, let me go this direction?
Yes, I used to, usually what I do is that I don't keep a circle of people that are of my same age and things like that, because then at the end of the day, I don't really get much from them aside saying, oh, let's go out and do this, let's go do that. So I kept this friend, he was a teacher, and he would always talk about how it's very difficult to sort of like manage school fees when they're collected from the pupils, how it's difficult to break them into the various streams like PTA, user, bus levy, and the kind. And in my mind, I was thinking I can actually come up with a database system that can solve that problem. I did tell him at the time, but after some 2 weeks or so, I said, I've actually got a system that can work. And he said, I know the head teacher for Nawai, he's been complaining about it, let's go see him. And that's how we went there, and they said that we can actually provide a solution.
That's very, very interesting. Very, very
Do you have any computer programming papers, Visual Basic, or it's just
I like the way you put it, that so the way it is that at the time, I didn't have any qualification. At the time, what I did when I was in high school, that's a decade, I bought a book. It was called Table Pascal. It's a programming language. Yeah, so I used to read and study that book. And then I was in good terms with the guy who was in charge of the computer lab. So in my free time, I would go there and practice the things I was reading. So by the time I was past high school, I was able to program. I could program, I could come up with a program. If someone gives me a design specification, I could come up with a program.
That sounds like there was some sacrifice that was made.
Yeah, there was
What
huge
was the actual sacrifice made? If you had to break it down, being in high school, having to read these books.
Yeah, so most of the times I wasn't a normal child. Yeah, I wasn't found with other people. Most of the times I'll be alone. If I'm not alone, I'll be with someone much elder than I am. Yeah, because then I could learn. Even when I was doing my grade 8 and 9 mature boys, there was this. He's a Catholic father. Yeah, he was from the States. He was once a wrestler, then he got into science and the kind. So most of the times I'll be found with him, because then I'd learn what I needed. And most of the times I'm very good at observing, and I learn a lot from observing as well. And I noticed at the time I could notice most of the things in our country are not really in place. So I was like, okay, I think if someone doesn't get to do it, then no one will ever get to do it. Yes.
And I love that you're bringing a solution to the problem that you're seeing and not just adding more questions.
Exactly.
So looking at what you're doing right now, your My Ride and the applications that you help with the schools, has it always been just the IT related business side for you?
So it's not only IT related business. Actually, I also do psychosocial counseling. Mostly it's for
that's a good idea.
Wow.
Yeah, but that's for children. Yes, I work with organizations like Care International. There's a project called Hero Book Project. Yeah, so the idea is that we watch these movies, and then in the movies they bring out a character like that's the starring role. Yeah, So what you do is the children that are underprivileged, the ones that have gone through a lot, the ones that feel like they cannot do anything. And so what we do is that we make them go through this process where they sort of like write about the experiences. But in all the experiences, we want them to come out like the story, the main story, the story. So the project's called the Hero Book. I've done a lot of work to it, but I think for now I've been so busy with IT. And
Okay. All right. So let's get to the kind of things that are keeping you busy, apart from being the CEO of My Ride. What else are you doing as an entrepreneur?
Yes, I also do music.
Hey!
Okay.
So
DJ, give us a beat.
a little birdie told me that you have a song with MT. It's an African
Exactly.
artist.
Yeah, I was
MT.
actually supposed to do the essay
Yeah.
right now,
Yeah.
shooting a video, but I'll be there on Friday.
It's okay. You're here with us.
Yes.
Oh, worth it.
It's alright.
Please pass our regards to MT.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure. And I'll be meeting a couple of other people outside MT because what we're trying to do is that under Flight Intellect. I've signed 2 artists.
Okay.
Yeah, that's Scott and Dipsy.
Okay.
And then I'm
Dipsy
trying to,
Zam?
yes.
Oh, Dipsy.
Dipsy Wapakaboy.
Dipsy.
Should
Shout
I
out to
mention what
Dipsy.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm trying to create a network. We're actually doing a song with one of the big Nigerian artists, produced by a Nigerian producer.
Nice.
Yeah, so after essay, I'm going to Nigeria, just trying to create a
Wow.
network. So that we
No
can-
names yet?
Apply
For
it.
the Nigerian site?
No, I can give you names. That I'm not the kind of person that says stuff and then it doesn't happen. So I'm doing a song with Fireboy.
Oh! That's amazing.
Yeah, so good.
Fireboy to be produced
Oh,
by
very
Fuse. The current head
Wow.
is producer of the year. I think.
Wow.
How are you juggling
Well
all
done.
these things together?
Good question.
You know,
I
how are you
feel
managing?
if you're on earth and you have a purpose, yeah, you have to get to do what you want to do, because then if you always make an excuse for everything, then nothing is going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, because most people make excuses for everything. Some people say my parents died, that's why I'm not at school. But you saying that to be so strong on it, you saying that is like saying you should have died with your parents, which doesn't make sense. So the idea is that when you put your mind to something, you can actually get to do it. You can actually get to do it. The key thing is that you need to know how to do it. And knowing how to do it doesn't require you to go to school. Yeah, because school is a man-made thing. You can as well make something that people will study in the books and things like that. It
I
will
like
put in the
that.
curriculum.
Yeah.
Yeah, school is a creation of the mind that you actually have, the same mind that you have. So when you really want to do something, you only need to know how to do it. And knowing how to do it doesn't require you pay some school fees. No. I started off by buying some expensive phone at this time, and people were thinking I was buying it for prestige, but I was buying it so that I could get the notes off the internet, write them down and learn how to do something.
Okay, so obviously with owning businesses means you are obviously earning money, you're making profits, and hopefully saving. Can you give us a lesson around those 3 things? You earn, profit, saving. What are you doing with the money?
So, like for me, I'm not really on the idea of saving.
Okay.
Oh, why is that?
Because it's the wrong concept.
Okay.
What
What
is
is
the
that
word?
word, right? Okay.
It is a wrong concept because the thing is that money is a medium of exchange. It has to be in circulation. If you keep it to yourself, you're basically not doing anything. I wouldn't have a 500,000 kwacha and go keep it in a bank account. I'm wasting my time. Yeah, I'd rather have a 500,000 kwacha and put it in something that will keep it running. Because then, if you have to play the idea that money is a medium of exchange, it means at some point you have to be part of that circulation.
Yeah.
And for you to be part of that circulation, you need activity. You don't need to have something stored up, no. You need activity. Because then the only way you can save money is better you save it in assets. Then you go save it in a bank account or you go store it up somewhere.
Okay, so how are you saving? What are you doing? Are you buying assets?
Yeah, of course I'm buying assets. And the other thing I'm doing is,
Are you able to share?
I mean, if you're able to, why not?
Give us some inspo.
Okay, money assets are obviously expensive vehicles. We're getting expensive vehicles under my right, things like Rolls Royce.
Comfortability.
Yeah, I think we're getting those. Of course, it's a business, but we're also getting them the assets. And of course, we're building. Yeah, we're building. I think we're doing a 4-story building.
Okay.
Yeah, and then aside that, we bought so many houses. Yeah, I think we've even bought a house in SA.
That's you go.
Hey, good.
Yeah, but I should mention that my ride is not really making profit. I think right now, right, we started off as a free service for the drivers, and then right now we're investing the money from the other businesses into my ride.
Right. I want to find out from you. We're living in a society where every time you listen to the news, you're watching the news. We're seeing youths crying foul every day. We see them on TV. No, but then look at you, thriving, flourishing. What makes you different? To be honest, because I mean, most of us here were crying for no, it's not going to youth empowerment. We see these things on social media. We see people posting, no, I've got 1,500. What can I start with this? What makes you different? Because clearly you're so young, and look at you flourishing.
Yeah, so I'm glad that you've asked that question, because I think that's one thing I want to really put out, because I get a lot of people like messaging me, I need help, I need this, I need that. And I think the problem with everyone that's doing that is because I should mention this before I explain this. It's not about what you have, it's about what you can do with what you have. Yeah, so even in the world of music is a composition of 8 notes. But out of the 8 notes, you can make endless music. Further to that, the mind is limitless. It's only limited by limits you acknowledge. Yeah. So having said that, it's about what you can do with what you have. So if I want to start doing something, and they say I need to go to school, I need to find a 5,000 kwacha for school fees. If I cannot get the 5,000 kwacha, there's still something I can do. Remember, the human body, your mind and everything has got capacity for anything. It's got capacity to do anything. So the idea is that there's always something you can find that you can convert to value. You can materialize it to something. Like for instance, if you're really good at something, let's say you study or you don't really go to school but research about something, you can be a consultant, and your consultancy can actually convert to value.
True.
I remember at some point I didn't really have a paper. Yeah, but I was skillful. I was able to attend to certain things, and I was given a platform by Radiation Protection Authority. Then they connected me to United Nations. The United Nations sent me to Nigeria to go be part of a system development for a system they use for regulatory bodies. But I didn't have a paper. I really didn't have anything. The only thing I had was that I could be able to sort out if there's a saver, if there's a client on the end of it, or I could be able to provide that service. So at the end of the day, there's always something in you. Remember, even impossible is not actually impossible. Impossible means it has not been done before. Not that it cannot be done, but it has not been done before. So you can actually get to do it. Even going back to the idea of people saying government, let the government do something, Boma and the kind. It doesn't really make sense, because at the end of the day, what the government does is just creates an environment. It doesn't mean that the government will come and provide certain things. They'll create the environment. The government is only supposed to create an enabling environment. But it's up to us. It's actually up to us. If we keep on singing this song, development, it will just be a song.
It's true.
Yeah, it will just be a song. But the idea is, it's up to us. Look at what China was able to do. Yeah, because it starts from us. They lead to I can do, they lead to the next person will do. Then at the end of the day, it will end up to something. Our economy, we cannot even like contribute to what the economy can do. Like for instance, if the dollar goes up tomorrow, there's little we can do as Zambians to bring it down. Why? Because we don't do anything. Yeah, we don't do anything. I think we are more on the idea of complaining, but we are not working. To be honest, we are not working, and we need to work, but we are not working.
Okay. Plight, what would you? Yeah.
What did you want to ask?
Yeah. Do you wanna?
No, I wanted to, like, I'm always curious about when I hear, inspiring stories like yours. For me, the questions that come to my mind are more based on what are your habits, because the small things that create the grand scope of who you are. So like, what are your daily habits? Like, what time do you wake up? Do you have a routine? Like, I want to know that inside stuff.
I'm really glad that you said that, but one thing I really want to say is that a human being is not defined. You know, you cannot be defined by school, education, or anything. So you cannot say, for me to be successful, I need to behave like this. It's not really like that. Like, for instance, I don't wake up early.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't wake
That's
up
different.
early.
Yeah.
And
That's inspiring, actually.
There are days when I want to party, I can party, misappropriate money, and things like that. But what's key really is consistency. Tenacity of purpose is key. Like, for instance, if you really want to be successful at something, it's not that there's only one road to success. Like, for instance, if you want to get something, it's not that if the other person that's successful used to wake up at 5, then you have to wake up at 5. No. Find out what works for you. Yeah, because we're all different.
Yeah.
And there's beauty. There's a lot more we don't know about ourselves. Even though people claim to say, I know myself, that's a lie.
Yeah.
There's a lot more we don't know about ourselves, because then we are born on earth, and then earth starts conditioning us based on the society we grow up in.
Points.
Yeah. Basically,
For me, nobody open.
there is possibility for anything.
True.
And you don't have to get sort of like limited by what you get from some motivational person saying, wake up at 5. Yeah, if waking up at 5 doesn't work for you, find another way of doing it.
True.
Very true.
Now, Plight, before we say goodbye, what comparisons would you draw from the old ways of doing business, the way our parents used to, as opposed to now, the way things are working, opportunity-wise? Do you think they had more opportunities than we do? Do you think we are more enterprising as compared to them? What comparisons do you draw?
I think for me, really, my worry is that I think we're not really doing much in our generation. I think we're more on the idea of, let me get an iPhone 12 instead of knowing how it's made.
Ooh,
Yeah.
shots fired! A lot of snappable moments. Shots fired!
So I think our generation really has got the capacity to achieve a lot, considering that a lot of things have been placed at our fingertips, but we're not really taking advantage of that opportunity. I think we are more on showing face instead of actually doing the actual thing, and I think that's what the problem is. I think the old generation, they had it the hard way. To get certain things done, it was very difficult.
Yeah.
But now I think things are so easy. Like, for instance, I don't need to go to a university to get a master's or anything. I can do it from home.
Yeah.
Which is an advantage. It
Yeah.
should be an advantage. We have more time to ourselves, but we're not making use of the time.
Which is unfortunate.
Which is very unfortunate. Yes.
All right. So, what's your entrepreneur tip to our Tuvwange lifestyle viewers?
Oh, okay. So I would say get it done when you need to get it done. Yeah, get it done when you need to get it done, because the thing is, it's not always about money. Actually, money has got value with reference to time. But what's really key, actually, at the end of it, or what really matters is time. Yeah, because then I can get a 50,000 kwacha today. Maybe it's needed for some operation, but if not, I'm not operated on the next 5 minutes, maybe I lose my life. So then that 50,000 kwacha becomes useless.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's always with reference to time. So get it done when you need it done. Get it done.
Nice. On that note, we are going to check out, some food, because sometimes you need to get the food done when you need to get it done. Let's go to Chef Kat and check out some yummy bites. We'll be right back. So you're really deep.
Very exciting. Very exciting.
Cut.
You're deep. When is the book coming out? Are we coming to a book signing?
In a month. Yeah.
How pushing applied?
For real.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
I don't know.
Congratulations. People like you are the ones who need more platforms online.
To Monday.
Yeah, I'm supposed to be counting, but I
That's
don't really know.
supposed to.
I don't know anything as regards. I think I only recently knew how to do it.
So guys, we should catch up on that issue.
Yeah, we need to talk. I didn't want to.
No.
Yeah, business.
Business, better money.